Good morning, everybody. It's Dive Girl Deb here, and it's that time of year again. Spring's coming, and my lovely friend Miriam always calls me this time of year. She's in a panic. Deb, my bees are swarming, and she's right, they are. And because she's been doing this for 4 or 5 years now, her colonies are good sized, and they throw 5 or 6 swarms a year, and the neighbors are starting to get a little peeved about it. So I said, well, let's give them a place before they leave, and then they don't end up in the neighbor's yard. So, I mean, the right thing to do is to put out some bait boxes and some swarm traps. And so then the scouts will go out and look for a place. They'll go back and talk to that swarm and say, hey, I have a place for us, and they'll coordinate the move, and then they'll go there. And once they end up in a box, well, they're in the right place to start building that comb, and that queen can go out and get mated and such. So, but at the end of the day, she doesn't have enough boxes, and so I said I'll happily loan you some. So today I'm going to prepare 2 NUC boxes as a bait trap and my swarm trap. So here we go. And of course, everybody knows I teach bee venom therapy, but I also grow bees, and I've been in the Oregon State Master Beekeeping Program. And so these are some NUC boxes that I built years and years ago. And this one just came out of storage, and I want to show you what you can find. You see, there's all kinds of little debris, and if there's insects in here, then there's insect eggs. And you can look on the walls. You can see them, little round dots on the walls. So you don't want those in your new colony. You want to clean up all of that. So the best way to do it is to sterilize your box with flame. And these little propane torches are the ticket. Now this one I've already torched. I just did it, and it's clean. You don't have all those little fragments and spider webs full of eggs. And mostly we want to get rid of the moth wax. And so I'm going to show you guys how I burn a box. And then in the end, what I do is I take some surplus wax and I rub everything down, all the inside. Just rub it in all the cracks. Now if you have screens, you want to rub all around the edges, especially on the top, because that's where your bees are likely to end up. And see here how all those little coarse edges are full of wax now, so that a little honeybee can't come along and get poked, you know, because they're exoskeletal, and if they have holes in them, they're going to dehydrate. So we don't really want that. We want them to stay plump to at least live for the 6 weeks that they get. So this lid obviously gets torched as well, all of your interior spaces. And if you're wise, you're using metal screen anyway, so your torch can pass over those gently. And there are some fragments of wax in there, which I'm not worried about, because, well, we all love the smell of beeswax at the end of the day, including a honeybee. But more importantly, when you rub down the walls, now we've just sterilized the box. We've cleaned out all of the pathogens. We've burnt everything to a crisp. All any eggs in there are now dead. So it's a nice clean box. And the heat sears the wood nice and tight. It burns off any little fibers in there. So it makes a nice soft surface for the bees, and that's why they like to live in burnt out trees. So, and then when you rub it with wax, what you're doing is you're helping to add all of the healing properties of this wax to their walls. So now they're already sterile, but by adding this wax, which has propolis in it, and that's a natural antibiotic, so now we've just given them kind of a hospital environment, which is super clean, and that's what bees want. They want to be clean. So rub it with beeswax afterwards. Now, because we're going to use these as a bait box to try to draw bees inside, they're going to have to look for this hole. And we might actually leave the lids cracked open a little bit until they poke around and have a look. But generally you want to come in the front door. So I'm going to wax all of this whole front area and the front porch. And we are going to treat it with some Swarm Commander. This has got all kinds of special enzymes and hormones in it that will draw in your swarm, and that stuff works.